How many times have you felt lost? As if life were a puzzle with pieces that simply don't fit, no matter how hard you try. Maybe you feel like you're giving your all, facing daily battles, but deep down, something feels wrong. It's like running in circles, expending energy, but never getting anywhere. A void grows in your chest, a silent anguish that accompanies you, even when everything seems fine to others. Do you remember that feeling that comes without warning, in the middle of a quiet night or on an ordinary day? The feeling that something is missing? It's a hole that nothing seems to fill. You try to cover it with work, seek it in relationships, distract yourself with achievements or even with momentary pleasures, but at the end of the day, there it is. An invisible weight on your heart. A question you try to avoid: why does it still feel so empty? Maybe you've tried everything. You've prayed, you've cried, you've sought comfort in advice, in books, or even in people who claim to have the answers. But nothing seems to work. The emptiness is still there, growing deeper. Perhaps, in the silence of your heart, you've shouted, "God, where are you? Why does my life feel so confusing, so lonely?" And then comes that discouragement that paralyzes you. You feel trapped in a routine that drains your strength. Every day seems like a tiring repetition of the last, and the dreams that once illuminated your path start to fade. Life's difficulties become insurmountable mountains, and hope seems unreachable, like a distant star you'll never touch. Perhaps, deep down, you've even started to believe that there's nothing beyond this endless struggle. But, what if I told you that you don't have to carry this alone? That this emptiness isn't a punishment, but a calling? What if this pain, this feeling of helplessness, is the beginning of something much greater? Something that will completely transform the way you see life? God didn't create you to live like this. He formed you with a purpose, and the emptiness you feel can only be filled by a real presence, the presence of God. It's not something distant or intangible, but something powerful, alive, and transformative. It is through the Holy Spirit that you can find not just comfort, but fullness. It's through Him that the weight of discouragement can be exchanged for hope, that the current pulling you under can be transformed into a river of peace. Now, close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, does God have something reserved for me? Is He calling me to something greater? I want to give you an answer now, clear and direct. Yes, there is more. There is a life where peace is not fragile or fleeting. There is a life where you don't have to fight alone, where your tears are not ignored, and your pain has a purpose. Listen closely, you are not made to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. There is someone by your side, waiting for you to let Him in. That someone is the Holy Spirit, and He is ready to guide you, comfort you, and teach you how to live a life of purpose, freedom, and true peace. But how is this possible? How can you achieve peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, that doesn't shake in the face of storms? The answer lies in living in the presence of God. This is where everything changes. This is where the emptiness is filled, where the wounds begin to heal, and where confusion gives way to clarity. The Holy Spirit is not a distant idea or an impersonal force. He is real. He is here, right now, with you, ready to transform your pain into hope, your fear into courage, and your frustration into a greater purpose. How many times have you tried alone? How many times have you tried to solve everything with your own strength, only to end up even more tired, even more lost? The good news is that you don't have to live like that anymore. The Holy Spirit is ready to carry you when your strength fails, to guide you when you don't know the way, and to give you a peace that the world can never offer. He doesn't just want to comfort you, He wants to empower you, lift you up, teach you how to live in victory, even when the winds are against you. Imagine this, a life where, in the midst of chaos, you feel an unshakable peace. Where, even in difficulties, you have the certainty that you're not alone. Where your prayers don't seem to echo in the void but become living conversations with God. This is the life the Holy Spirit wants to give you. He wants to walk with you, every day, in every moment. He wants to teach you to hear God's voice, trust in Him, and rest in the certainty that He is in control, even when everything around you seems out of place. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine, how would it feel to wake up tomorrow with a new hope? How would it feel to carry your burden, knowing that by your side is someone who not only understands your pain but has the power to completely transform your situation? You don't have to imagine it anymore. It can start right now, at this very moment. I know you're tired. Tired of fighting every day, trying to move forward when everything around you seems to pull you back. Tired of not understanding why so many things are happening, questioning why the difficulties, the losses, the uncertainties. The feeling of being lost, without direction, with a heavy heart and a weary soul. I understand what you're feeling, because God understands too. He sees you in this moment, exactly as you are, needing nothing more. He knows every tear you've shed, every thought you've had in the quiet hours of the night when the pain felt unbearable. But I tell you now, He hasn't abandoned you. Even when you felt alone, even when the answers didn't come, God was there, seeing your heart, feeling your pain. The Holy Spirit is extending His hand to you right now. He doesn't come to judge you or make you feel more burdened. He comes to embrace you, to guide you to something better, to show you the way you cannot see with human eyes. And with immeasurable love, He whispers in your ear, "Trust me. Let me show you a better way. I see your struggles. I understand your pain. And you are not alone. I know it may be hard to trust when circumstances seem insurmountable. But the Holy Spirit calls you to a new beginning, a new perspective on life. He will not abandon you or leave you by the wayside. He is with you now, waiting for you to take the first step, even if it's a small step, but full of faith. He wants to show you that there's more for you. He wants to lead you to a place where peace is not just a distant promise, but a living, breathing reality in every one of your breaths. You are not alone. I know you may not feel it right now, but the Holy Spirit is closer than you can imagine, ready to transform every part of your being. Just open your heart, trust, and let Him lead you. He is with you, and He will never leave you. All you need to do is take a step of faith. Open your heart and speak to the Holy Spirit. Tell Him how you feel, without fear, without reservation. Allow the Holy Spirit to enter your life and begin transforming every part of it. He doesn't expect perfection, He just wants you to say yes. Because the first step doesn't depend on you being strong, but on you trusting. And as you trust, you will see that the Holy Spirit is everything you need. All you need to do is take a step of faith. You don't need all the answers, you don't need to understand every detail. What the Holy Spirit wants from you, more than anything, is for you to open your heart. Let Him enter every corner, every area of your life that you've been trying to hide. Speak to Him, with sincerity, with the truth that lives within you, without fear, without reservation. The Holy Spirit isn't waiting for perfect words or a flawless heart. He is waiting for your yes. Yes, Holy Spirit, even if I don't understand what's happening. Yes, Holy Spirit, even if I feel weak and powerless. Yes, Holy Spirit, even if doubts still try to stop me. Because deep down, you know, you can't do everything on your own. And He knows that too. There's no need to be strong to take this step. The first step doesn't require you to have everything figured out, for all your questions to be answered. What the Holy Spirit asks is trust. Trust that He is more than willing to help you, more than able to transform your life. When you say yes to Him, something powerful begins to happen. It's not about being perfect or having all the answers, but about allowing the Holy Spirit to start writing the story He has always dreamed for you. And by trusting, by allowing Him to enter your life, you will see that the Holy Spirit is everything you need. He is the peace you seek, the strength you don't have, the wisdom when you are lost. The Holy Spirit doesn't require perfection, He only asks for your surrender. So, do it now. Speak with Him. Don't let anything stop you anymore. He is already here, waiting to transform your life, give you a new purpose, and fill the emptiness with His presence. He is calling you, and the first step is yours. Say yes and see what the Holy Spirit can do in your life. The Holy Spirit doesn't require perfection, He only asks for your surrender. He isn't waiting for you to be perfect, to have all the answers, or to have overcome all your difficulties. What He desires from you is simply for you to surrender. For you to open up, even with your fears, your flaws, and your uncertainties. He doesn't want you to be strong on your own, He wants to be your strength. So, do it now. Don't wait another minute. Speak to the Holy Spirit, just as you are, from the depth of your heart. Speak about your pain, your fears, the confusion you may be living in. Don't worry about pretty words or elaborate sentences. The Holy Spirit listens to you for who you are, not for what you say. He knows your heart. He just waits for you to open the door and let Him in. Don't let anything stop you anymore. Don't let the fear of not being good enough, or the feeling that you still don't have everything figured out, stop you. I know the weight of doubt and insecurity can be overwhelming, but now is the moment to let go of these chains. The Holy Spirit is already here, waiting patiently for you, waiting for you to open your heart and surrender. He's not waiting for you to be perfect or to have all the answers. He's waiting for your yes, a yes that can change everything, that can open the door to a new life. He is calling you now, with immeasurable love, with a grace that doesn't judge but embraces. The love He has for you doesn't depend on what you've done or haven't done, or what you still need to fix. He loves you exactly as you are, and with this love, He promises that no matter where you are now or what you've lived through until today, He can completely transform your life. No matter how lost, hurt, or hopeless you may have felt. The Holy Spirit wants to enter your life and do something new. He wants to renew your heart, heal your deepest wounds, and show you a future full of purpose. He wants to give you something you've never been able to find in the wrong places, something that will fill every emptiness, every gap you've been trying to fill with the temporary things of this world. He wants to give you His eternal presence, which brings peace, true peace, a peace that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on the certainty that you are in the hands of the One who loves you unconditionally. The peace He offers is not superficial, it's not temporary. It's a deep peace, one that invades your being, that strengthens you, that renews you every day. There's no more reason to wait or hide. He is calling you now, with the promise that by allowing Him into your life, everything will be different. It won't be an instant change, but it will be a deep, true transformation. Every step you take toward Him will be a step toward your healing, your freedom, your restoration. He is here, and He will never leave you. The first step is yours. It doesn't need to be grand, it doesn't need to be perfect. What matters is that you decide to take this step now. Say yes to the Holy Spirit, with the trust that He will do something new in your life. See what He can do in you, starting now. The Holy Spirit wants to surround you with His love, transform your story, heal your wounds, and guide you to a future full of hope. Don't wait any longer. He is calling you, and your life is about to change forever.